Our guest of honor tonight has donated $10 million to children's education, the announcer said. Michael adjusted his tie smugly. He had dumped his wife 5 years ago, calling her just a maid with no future. The ballroom doors opened. His champagne glass slipped. It was her. Keisha walked in wearing a gown worth more than his car. 4 children in matching formal wear beside her. 4 identical children. The announcer continued, "Please welcome billionaire tech CEO Keisha Williams." Michael's business partners stared. The children waved at the crowd, their faces a perfect copy of his. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Stop staring at your phone and smile. The photographers are watching. Amanda Prescott squeezed Michael Carter's arm as their black Mercedes pulled up to the grand ballroom entrance. Michael looked up from his messages and put his phone in his pocket. He stepped out of the car onto the red carpet. Camera flashes went off like lightning. Michael buttoned his jacket and smiled. The suit cost $5,000. His watch cost $20,000. He felt good. "Mr. Carter, look this way!" a photographer shouted. Michael turned and put his arm around Amanda. She wore a red dress that matched her lipstick. Her blonde hair was pulled back tight. They posed together. More flashes. More cameras. Michael walked into the Grand Ballroom in the Loop District of Chicago, Illinois. The date was Friday, November 15th. The time was 7 o'clock in the evening. The ballroom was enormous. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling. The floor was white marble. Waiters in black suits carried trays of champagne. Men wore expensive tuxedos. Women wore gowns that cost more than cars. This was the annual Chicago Children's Fund Gala. Everyone important in Chicago was here tonight. "Michael Carter, good to see you." Senator William Bradford walked over and shook Michael's hand. Michael shook it firmly. "Senator, how are you?" "Good, good. I heard Carter Industries closed that deal with the banks. Impressive work." "Thank you, Senator. We work hard." The senator smiled and walked away. Amanda took 2 glasses of champagne from a passing waiter. She handed one to Michael. "Everyone here knows your name," Amanda said. "You are so successful." Michael drank his champagne. It was expensive French champagne. He could taste the difference. "Success comes to people who work for it," Michael said. "I built my company from nothing. Now we are worth $50 million. A group of investors walked over. Michael shook hands with all of them. He talked about his business. He talked about his money. He talked about a new deal he just closed. The investors listened and nodded. Michael felt powerful. This was his world. These were his people. "You should invest in Carter Industries," Michael told one investor. "We are growing 20% every quarter." "I will call your office on Monday," the investor said. Amanda kissed Michael's cheek. "You are amazing," she whispered. The ballroom filled with more people. There were celebrities. There were politicians. There were business owners. Everyone was rich. Everyone was important. Michael belonged here. At 8 o'clock, the lights dimmed. A man in a tuxedo walked onto the stage. He held a microphone. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the annual Chicago Children's Fund Gala." Everyone clapped. The announcer waited for silence. "Tonight, we honor someone very special. This person donated $10 million to Chicago public schools. This person built a technology company that is changing healthcare across America. This person did all of this while raising 4 children as a single mother." Michael drank more champagne. He was not paying attention. He was looking at his phone again. "Please welcome the founder of Williams Tech Solutions and tonight's guest of honor, Keisha Williams. Michael's head snapped up. That name. He knew that name. Keisha Williams was his ex-wife's name. But that was impossible. His ex-wife was just an administrative assistant. She worked at a law firm. She made $35,000 a year. She was nobody. The ballroom doors opened. A woman walked through them. Michael's blood went cold. It was Keisha. She walked down the red carpet wearing an emerald green gown. The dress fit her perfectly. Her hair was styled in elegant curls. Diamond earrings caught the light. She looked beautiful. She looked confident. She looked nothing like the woman he divorced 5 years ago. But that was not what made Michael freeze. 4 children walked beside her. 2 boys, 2 girls. They all looked the same age. They wore matching formal clothes. The boys wore small black tuxedos. The girls wore emerald dresses that matched their mother's gown. Michael stared at their faces. They had his eyes, dark brown, the exact same shape. They had his nose, straight with a slight curve at the bridge. They had his smile, the same dimple on the left side. Michael's hand went numb. The champagne glass slipped from his fingers. It fell. The sound of glass breaking on marble was loud, very loud. Everyone turned to look. Michael could not move. He could not breathe. He stared at the 4 children walking beside Keisha. "Michael?" Amanda grabbed his arm. "What is wrong?" People around them started whispering. They looked at Michael. Then they looked at the children. Then they looked back at Michael. "Oh my God," someone whispered. "Those kids look just like him." "Are those his children?" another person asked. Keisha walked past Michael. She did not look at him. She did not turn her head. She walked like he was invisible. The 4 children held her hands. They walked to the VIP table at the front of the ballroom. A man stood up from the table. He was Asian, maybe 45 years old. He wore glasses. He smiled at Keisha and the children. They all sat down together. Photographers rushed forward. Camera flashes filled the room. They took pictures of Keisha. They took pictures of the children. Then they turned their cameras toward Michael. Mr. Carter, do you know Keisha Williams? Are those your children? How long have you known about them?" Amanda's face was pale. "Michael, who are those kids?" Michael opened his mouth, but no words came out. His heart was pounding. His hands were shaking. He looked at the 4 children sitting at the VIP table. They were eating bread and laughing. They looked happy. They looked healthy. They looked exactly like him. "Michael!" Amanda pulled his arm hard. "Answer me. Who are those children?" Robert Hayes, Michael's business partner, pushed through the crowd. He pulled Michael toward the hallway. "We need to talk. Now." Michael let Robert pull him away. But he could not stop looking back at the VIP table. At Keisha. At the 4 children who had his face. His entire body felt cold. His mind raced. Keisha was pregnant. She must have been pregnant when he left her 5 years ago. She never told him. She never called. She never asked for money. She raised those children alone. 4 children. 4 children who were his. Everyone in the ballroom was staring. Everyone was whispering. Everyone was pointing. Michael looked down at the broken glass on the marble floor. The champagne spread across the white stone like blood. He realized his entire life just shattered exactly the same way. Robert Hayes closed the hallway door behind them. The noise from the ballroom became muffled. Michael leaned against the wall. His legs felt weak. "Are those your kids?" Robert asked. Michael could not answer. His mouth was dry. "Michael, look at me. Are those 4 children yours?" "I think so. I don't know. Maybe. Yes. Robert ran his hand over his face. "This is bad. This is very bad." "She was pregnant," Michael whispered. "Keisha was pregnant when I left her." "Did you know?" "No. I had no idea. She never told me." Robert looked through the small window in the door. He could see the ballroom. "Everyone saw those kids. Everyone saw your face when you dropped that glass. The media is going to destroy you with this. I need to talk to her." "Michael, wait!" But Michael was already walking back into the ballroom. He moved through the crowd. People stared at him. They whispered. He did not care. He walked straight toward the VIP table where Keisha sat with the 4 children and the man in glasses. 2 security guards stepped in front of him. "Sir, you need to go back to your table," one guard said. "I need to speak to Keisha Williams. It is important." "Mrs. Williams is not taking visitors right now." "I am not a visitor. I am—" Michael stopped. What was he? The father of her children? He did not earn that title. "Please, just tell her Michael Carter needs to speak with her." The security guard spoke into his radio. He waited. Then he shook his head. "Mrs. Williams says no. Please return to your seat, sir." Michael tried to look past the guards. Keisha was cutting food on a plate for one of the little girls, the girl with the yellow bow in her hair. Keisha smiled at the child. She looked happy. She looked like a good mother. "Sir, go back to your table now." Michael walked back. Amanda was gone. Her purse was gone. Her champagne glass was gone. She left him. Michael sat down alone. His table had 8 seats. No one else sat there now. Everyone moved to different tables. No one wanted to sit near him. Dinner was served. Michael did not eat. He watched Keisha's table. The 4 children ate their food. They talked to each other. The 2 boys looked identical. Twins. The 2 girls looked identical. Also twins. 4 children. 2 sets of twins. Quadruplets. Michael's hands started shaking again. The man in glasses leaned over and said something to Keisha. She laughed. The children laughed too. They looked like a family. A complete family. A family that did not need Michael. After dinner, the lights dimmed again. Keisha stood up and walked to the stage. Everyone clapped. She stood behind the microphone. She looked out at the audience. Her eyes passed over Michael without stopping. "Thank you all for being here tonight," Keisha said. Her voice was clear and strong. 5 years ago, I was working as an administrative assistant. I made $35,000 a year. I lived in a small apartment. I had big dreams, but no way to reach them. People listened quietly. Then my life changed in ways I did not expect. I found out I was going to be a mother. Not just a mother of 4 babies. The audience gasped. Some people clapped. I was alone. I was scared. Someone I trusted told me I had no future. That person said I was just a dead-end employee with no ambition. Michael felt sick. She was talking about him. Everyone knew she was talking about him. That person was wrong, Keisha continued. I built Williams Tech Solutions from my kitchen table while my babies slept. I created an artificial intelligence program that helps hospitals predict patient needs before emergencies happen. I raised 4 beautiful, kind, intelligent children by myself. I proved that hard work and love are worth more than money and pride. The entire ballroom stood up and applauded. The sound was deafening. Keisha smiled. She looked at her children. They were clapping too. The little girl with the yellow bow blew her mother a kiss. Michael wanted to disappear. He wanted the floor to open and swallow him. Everyone in the room knew the story now. Everyone knew he was the person who called Keisha worthless. Everyone knew he abandoned her. Keisha walked back to her table. She sat down with her children. She did not look at Michael once. "Michael, we need to leave." Robert appeared beside him. The photographers outside are waiting. This is going to be a media nightmare. We need to control the story." "I don't care about the story." "Well, you should. Carter Industries depends on your reputation. This will affect the business." Amanda came back to the table. She grabbed her coat from the chair. "I called a car. I am leaving." "Amanda, wait." "No, I am not waiting. I am not staying with someone who has this much drama. Secret children? An ex-wife who is a billionaire? Everyone is staring at us. I am done." She walked away fast. Her heels clicked on the marble floor. "We should go too," Robert said. Michael stood up. His legs felt heavy. He walked toward the exit. People turned to watch him. They did not try to hide their staring now. They pointed. They whispered. Some people held up their phones and took pictures. Outside, photographers crowded the sidewalk. "Mr. Carter, are those children yours? Did you know Keisha Williams had your babies? Why did you abandon your family?" Michael put his hand up to block the camera flashes. He walked to his car. His driver opened the door. Michael got in. Robert got in beside him. "Drive," Robert told the driver. The car pulled away from the curb. Michael looked back at the grand ballroom. Through the glass doors, he could see Keisha standing with her 4 children. They were putting on their coats. The man in glasses helped the little boy with his jacket. "What am I going to do?" Michael asked. Robert did not answer. Michael went home to his penthouse in downtown Chicago. The apartment had floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. The furniture was expensive. The art on the walls cost thousands of dollars. Everything was perfect and cold. Michael sat on his leather couch. He did not turn on the lights. He sat in the dark and stared at nothing. His phone started ringing. He looked at the screen. His mother. He did not answer. The phone rang again. His lawyer. He did not answer. The phone rang again and again and again. Michael turned off his phone. He sat in silence. The sun came up. Michael did not sleep. He turned his phone back on. 50 missed calls. 30 text messages. He opened his internet browser. The first headline read, "Tech CEO Michael Carter's secret children revealed at charity gala." The second headline read, "Billionaire Keisha Williams raises quadruplets alone after ex-husband abandons her." The third headline read, "Michael Carter called ex-wife worthless. Now she's worth $800 million. There were pictures. Pictures of Michael dropping the champagne glass. Pictures of the 4 children who looked exactly like him. Pictures of Keisha in her emerald gown looking powerful and beautiful. Michael's phone rang. His publicist. "Michael, we need to talk about crisis management," she said when he answered. "Not now." "Michael, this story is everywhere. Every news website, every social media platform. People are calling you a deadbeat father. They are calling you cruel. We need to release a statement." "I don't care about a statement. Your company cares. Your investors care." Michael hung up. The phone rang again. His lawyer this time. "Michael, I am getting calls from reporters. They want to know if you are going to seek custody. They want to know if you are going to pay child support." "She does not need my money. She is worth more than me." "That is not the point. The point is—" Michael hung up again. He walked to his window. He looked out at Chicago. The city looked the same as yesterday. But everything was different. Somewhere in this city, 4 children were waking up. His children. They were eating breakfast. They were getting ready for their day. They did not know he existed. They did not know his name. Michael pulled up the photo from the news article. The photo of Keisha, with Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe. That was their names. He read the article carefully. Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, Zoe. 4 years old. Born on March 3rd. healthy, happy, loved. Michael stared at the photo until his eyes burned. He memorized their faces, the shape of their eyes, the curve of their smiles. They had his face, but Keisha's warmth. He had to see her. He had to talk to her. He had to know the truth, even though he already knew it in his heart. Those 4 children were his, and he threw them away before they were even born. Michael spent the entire weekend in his penthouse. He did not eat. He did not sleep. He sat on his couch and searched for information about Keisha Williams online. There were articles about her company. There were interviews. There were photos of her at business conferences. In every photo, she looked successful and confident. On Monday morning, Michael called a private investigator. The man's name was James Burton. His office was in River North. Michael met him at a coffee shop on Wells Street at 9 o'clock. James was 50 years old, with gray hair and a tired face. He ordered black coffee. Michael ordered nothing. "What do you need?" James asked. "I need you to find out everything about someone." "Who?" "Keisha Williams. She owns Williams Tech Solutions." James pulled out a notebook and pen. "What do you want to know?" "Everything. Her business, her life, her children, when they were born, where they were born, everything." James looked up from his notebook. "You are Michael Carter. I saw the news. Those are your kids, right?" "That is what I need you to find out." James nodded. "This will cost you $5,000. I will pay $10,000. I need the information fast. 3 days. "I can do 3 days." Michael gave James his contact information. They shook hands. James left the coffee shop. Michael sat alone at the table for an hour. He watched people walk past the window. They looked normal. They looked happy. Michael felt like he was underwater. Everything seemed far away and blurry. 3 days later, James called. They met at the same coffee shop. James carried a thick folder. He put it on the table. "Everything you asked for is in here," James said. Michael opened the folder. There were papers, documents, photos. His hands shook as he looked through them. "Keisha Williams started Williams Tech Solutions 6 months after you divorced her," James said. "She filed the business papers on August 1st, 5 years ago. She was 4 months pregnant at the time." Michael's chest hurt. He kept reading. "She gave birth to quadruplets on March 3rd at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. 2 boys, 2 girls. Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe. All healthy. All born at 34 weeks. She was alone during the delivery. No family members listed except her mother, Lorraine Williams, who arrived after the birth." Michael looked at the birth certificates. 4 pieces of paper. Each one had Keisha's name, under mother. Under father, it said, unknown. "She never contacted you for child support," James continued. "She never filed any legal paperwork against you. She raised all 4 children by herself with help from her mother. Lorraine moved into Keisha's apartment when the babies were born." Michael found photos in the folder. Photos of Keisha holding 4 tiny babies. Photos of her feeding them bottles. Photos of her sitting at a kitchen table with a laptop while the babies slept in carriers around her. "Her company started small," James said. "She created an artificial intelligence program called MediPredict. It helps hospitals predict when patients will need emergency care. A venture capitalist named David Chen discovered her work at a tech conference 2 years ago. He invested $5 million. The company grew fast, very fast. Williams Tech Solutions is now worth $800 million. Keisha owns 60% of the company. That makes her personal net worth around $480 million. Michael could not breathe. $480 million. She was worth more than him now, much more than him. "She bought a townhouse in Lincoln Park 3 years ago," James said. The children attend Lincoln Elementary School, private school. Keisha is on the board of directors. She does not date anyone. She focuses on her children and her business. People who know her say she is kind but private. She does not talk about the children's father, ever. James pushed the folder toward Michael. That is everything. You want my opinion? What? She built an empire while raising 4 kids alone. Most people cannot do one of those things. She did both. That woman is strong. James stood up and left. Michael sat alone with the folder. He read every page. He looked at every photo. There was a photo of the 4 children on their first day of school. They wore matching backpacks. They smiled at the camera. Marcus held a sign that said first grade. So did Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe. Michael's phone buzzed. A text from Robert. Investors are pulling out. We need to meet. Michael ignored it. He kept reading the folder. There was a photo of Keisha holding a trophy at a business award ceremony. Another photo of her reading to the children at bedtime. Another photo of all 5 of them at Navy Pier eating ice cream. Michael closed the folder. He put his head in his hands. He had abandoned Keisha when she was pregnant. She was scared and alone, and he left her because he thought she was not good enough. Now, she was one of the most successful people in Chicago. Now she was raising 4 incredible children without him. Michael stood up. He left the coffee shop. He got in his car and drove to River North. Williams Tech Solutions had an office building on Huron Street. The building was tall and made of glass. The company logo was at the top in blue letters. Michael parked his car. He walked into the lobby. The lobby had white marble floors and modern furniture. A receptionist sat behind a large desk. She was young, with dark hair pulled back in a bun. "Can I help you?" she asked. "I need to see Keisha Williams." "Do you have an appointment?" "No, but I need to speak with her. It is urgent." The receptionist looked at her computer screen. "Mrs. Williams does not take walk-in appointments. You can schedule a meeting through our website. Please, just tell her Michael Carter is here." The receptionist's face changed. She recognized his name. "One moment." She picked up the phone. She spoke quietly. Michael could not hear what she said. She hung up. "I am sorry, Mr. Carter. Mrs. Williams is not available." "I will wait." "Sir, she is not available today." "Then I will wait until she is available." The receptionist looked uncomfortable. "Sir, I can call security if you do not leave." "I am not causing trouble. I am sitting in your lobby. That is not illegal." Michael sat down on a leather chair near the window. The receptionist watched him nervously. She picked up the phone again and spoke in a low voice. Michael waited. He looked at his watch. 9:30 in the morning. People walked in and out of the building. They looked at him. Some recognized him. They whispered to each other. At 10 o'clock, a security guard approached. "Sir, you need to leave." "I am waiting to speak with Keisha Williams." "Mrs. Williams is not going to see you." "Then I will keep waiting." The security guard looked frustrated. He walked back to the desk and spoke with the receptionist. Michael waited. 11 o'clock. Noon. 12:30. His back hurt from sitting. His stomach was empty. He did not care. At 12:45, the receptionist stood up. "Mr. Carter, Mrs. Williams will give you 5 minutes. Follow me." Michael stood up fast. His legs were stiff. He followed the receptionist to the elevator. They rode up to the 15th floor. The doors opened. The office was beautiful. Glass walls. Modern art. Big windows overlooking the Chicago River. The receptionist led Michael to a large office at the end of the hall. She knocked on the door. "Come in," a voice said. The receptionist opened the door. Michael walked inside. The office was huge. Windows covered 2 walls. A large wooden desk sat in the center. Bookshelves lined another wall. Behind the desk sat Keisha. She wore a gray suit. Her hair was pulled back. She looked at Michael with cold eyes. She did not smile. She did not stand up. 5 minutes, Keisha said. What do you want? Michael stood in front of her desk. His mouth was dry. I need to know the truth. The truth about what? The children. Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe. He paused. His voice cracked. Are they mine? Keisha stared at him for a long moment. Her face showed nothing. No anger, no sadness. Nothing. Yes, she finally said. They are biologically yours. Michael's knees went weak. He knew it already, but hearing her say it made it real. But you are not their father, Keisha continued. Her voice was calm and hard. A father is someone who stays, someone who shows up, someone who loves their children. You are just DNA. You are just blood. You are not their father. Keisha, I did not know you were pregnant. You never told me. I found out 3 days after you left me. Her voice was still calm. 3 days after you called me worthless. 3 days after you said I had no ambition. I was alone and scared, and I decided you did not deserve to know. Please, let me meet them. Let me explain. Give me a chance. A chance? Keisha stood up. You want a chance? You left me when I needed you most. You threw me away because I did not make enough money. You said I was a dead-end employee with no future. Now you see I am successful. And suddenly you care? No, you do not get a chance. Leave my children alone. They are my children too. They are my children. I carried them. I gave birth to them alone. I woke up every 2 hours to feed them. I changed their diapers. I held them when they cried. I taught them to walk and talk and read. Where were you? You were spending your money and dating models and thinking about yourself. You do not get to walk into their lives now. I am sorry. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Your 5 minutes are over. Leave. Keisha, please. Leave now, or I will call security. Michael stood there. He wanted to beg. He wanted to fall on his knees. But he saw her face. She meant every word. He turned and walked out of her office. The door closed behind him. He heard the lock click. Michael walked to the elevator. He rode down to the lobby. He walked outside into the cold November air. He got in his car but could not drive. He sat in the parking lot with his hands on the steering wheel. He stared at nothing. Those children were his, and he had no right to them. Michael finally drove home 30 minutes later. His hands shook the entire drive. He walked into his penthouse and sat on the couch. He did not turn on the lights. He sat in the dark and thought about Keisha's words. You are just DNA. She was right. He was not a father. Fathers stayed. Fathers loved their children. Fathers showed up. Michael did none of those things, but he could not give up. Those were his children. He had to try. The next morning, Michael went to a toy store on Michigan Avenue. He bought gifts for 4 children, science kits for Marcus, a keyboard piano for Isaiah, books for Amara, art supplies for Zoe. He spent $2,000. He had the store wrap everything in bright paper. Michael wrote a card. To Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe. I am sorry I was not there. I want to know you. Love, Michael. He hired a delivery service. They took the gifts to Keisha's townhouse in Lincoln Park that same afternoon. 2 days later, all the boxes came back, unopened. A note was taped to the top box in Keisha's handwriting. Do not send anything else. Michael tried again. He sent flowers to Keisha. He sent more toys to the children. He sent a letter explaining he did not know about the pregnancy. Everything came back. Every single package, every single letter, all unopened. Michael called Keisha's office every day for a week. The receptionist recognized his voice now. "Mrs. Williams is not available, Mr. Carter. Can you just give her a message? Mrs. Williams asked me to block your calls. I am sorry." Michael tried to email Keisha. His emails bounced back. She blocked his email address. He tried to send messages through social media. She blocked him there too. Michael felt desperate. He felt lost. He did not know what to do. 2 weeks passed. Michael stopped sleeping. He stopped eating regular meals. He lost weight. His business partner, Robert, called him every day. "Michael, you need to focus on the company. We have problems." "What problems?" "Investors are nervous. They do not trust you anymore. They think you have bad judgment." "Because of the children?" "Because you did not know about the children. Because you abandoned your ex-wife. It makes you look bad. It makes the company look bad." "I am handling it." "You are not handling it. You are obsessed. You sit in your apartment and do nothing." Robert was right. Michael was obsessed. He thought about the children every minute. He looked at their photos online. He watched videos of Keisha giving speeches where the children sat in the audience. He studied their faces. Marcus looked serious. Isaiah smiled easily. Amara watched everything carefully. Zoe laughed the loudest. Michael wrote letters to Keisha every night, long letters explaining his regret. He did not send them anymore because he knew she would send them back. He just wrote them and kept them in a drawer. 3 weeks after the gala, Amanda called him. "I saw the news," she said. "Are you okay?" "No." "Michael, you need to move on. That woman does not want you in her life. Accept it. Those are my children. You did not know about them. That is not your fault. It is my fault. I called her worthless. I left her. If I had been a better man, she would have told me about the pregnancy." Amanda sighed. "You cannot change the past." "I know, but I have to try to fix the future." Amanda hung up. Michael sat alone in his dark apartment. December came. The weather turned cold. Snow fell on Chicago. Michael stopped going to his office. He worked from home. Robert handled most of the business. Michael could not focus on anything except his children. On a Thursday morning in early December, Michael's phone rang. It was his lawyer. "Michael, we have a serious problem." "What is it?" "The FBI is investigating Carter Industries. They are looking into your finances." Michael sat up straight. "Why?" "Your CFO, Thomas Wright. He is being accused of stealing money from investors. $20 million. The FBI thinks you knew about it." "I did not know anything about that. Thomas handles all the financial details." "I believe you, but the FBI does not. They want to talk to you. Do not say anything without me present." 2 days later, FBI agents came to Michael's penthouse. They asked him hundreds of questions. Where did the money go? Did he approve the transactions? Did he know Thomas was stealing? Michael answered honestly. He did not know. He trusted Thomas to handle the finances. He was focused on the business side, not the accounting side. The agents did not believe him. "You are the CEO," one agent said. "You are responsible for everything that happens in your company." "I did not know Thomas was stealing." "That is what they all say." The agents left. Michael called his lawyer. "They think I am guilty," Michael said. "I know. I am working on it. Do not talk to anyone. Do not talk to the media. Stay quiet." Michael tried to stay quiet. But the media did not stay quiet. News articles appeared online. Michael Carter under FBI investigation for fraud. Carter Industries CEO accused of stealing $20 million. Michael Carter faces prison time. His phone rang constantly. Reporters, investors, business partners. Everyone wanted answers. Robert called. "Michael, I am leaving the company. I cannot be associated with this scandal." "Robert, I am innocent. I do not know if you are innocent or guilty. I just know I have to protect myself." Robert quit. Other business partners quit too. Investors pulled their money out of Carter Industries. The company started falling apart. Michael sat in his apartment and watched his life collapse. His business, his reputation, his money. Everything was disappearing. On a Wednesday night in January, the police came to his door. It was 8 o'clock. Michael opened the door. 3 police officers stood in the hallway. "Michael Carter, you are under arrest for conspiracy to commit fraud and embezzlement." "I did not do anything. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law." They put handcuffs on Michael's wrists. The metal was cold and tight. They walked him out of his building. Photographers were waiting outside. Camera flashes went off. People shouted questions. "Mr. Carter, did you steal the money? Are you guilty? What do you have to say?" Michael said nothing. The police put him in the back of a police car. They drove him to Cook County Jail on the west side. The jail was loud and cold. They took his phone. They took his wallet. They took his watch and his belt. They gave him orange clothing to wear. They put him in a cell with concrete walls and a metal bench. Michael sat on the bench. Other inmates yelled and talked. Someone laughed loudly. Someone else swore. The smell was bad. The lights were too bright. Michael put his head in his hands. He was in jail. His company was destroyed. His reputation was destroyed. Amanda left him. Robert left him. His business partners left him. Everyone left him. He had no one to call. His mother would be devastated. His lawyer would tell him to stay quiet. He had no friends. He realized he never had real friends. He had business partners and useful connections, but no actual friends. Michael lay down on the metal bench. It was cold and hard. He stared at the ceiling. Water stains covered the concrete. Paint peeled in the corners. He thought about his children sleeping in warm beds in a beautiful townhouse. Keisha was probably reading them bedtime stories. They were safe and loved. They did not know he was in jail. They did not know he existed. Michael closed his eyes. He could not sleep. The noise was too loud. The bench was too uncomfortable. But mostly, his heart hurt too much. Morning came. Gray light came through the small window. A guard brought terrible coffee and cold eggs. Michael did not eat. At 9 o'clock, a guard came to his cell. "Carter, someone posted your bail." Michael stood up. "Who?" "I do not know. Just come with me." They processed him out. They gave him back his phone, his wallet, his watch. Michael signed papers. They walked him to the front entrance. "You are free to go," the guard said. Michael walked out into the cold January morning. The sun was bright. Snow covered the ground. Michael squinted against the light. A black car was parked in the lot. Keisha stood next to it, wearing a long coat and gloves. Michael stopped walking. He could not believe she was there. Keisha looked at him. Her face was serious. She did not smile. "Get in the car," she said. "We need to talk." Michael walked to the car. His legs felt weak. Keisha got in the driver's seat. Michael got in the passenger seat. She started the engine but did not drive. "Why did you come?" Michael asked. His voice was rough from not talking all night. "I paid your bail, $50,000. "Why would you do that? You hate me." "I do not hate you. I feel nothing for you." Keisha stared straight ahead through the windshield. "My children saw you on the news last night. You were in handcuffs. Marcus asked me why their father was going to jail. Isaiah started crying. Amara asked if you were a bad person. Zoe asked if we could help you. Michael's chest hurt. His children saw him arrested. They saw him in handcuffs. I told them the truth, Keisha continued. I told them you made mistakes. Big mistakes. I told them you were in trouble. Zoe asked if we could help you. She said everyone deserves help when they are in trouble. Marcus said we should pay your bail. Isaiah agreed. Even Amara said we should do something. Keisha finally looked at Michael. Her eyes were hard. I did not pay your bail for you. I paid it because my 4 children asked me to help their father. They showed you mercy. They showed you kindness. They have good hearts. Hearts that came from me, not from you. Michael's eyes filled with tears. They helped me. They do not even know me, and they helped me. That is who they are. That is how I raised them. Keisha's voice was cold. My children showed you more mercy than you ever showed me. Remember that. Remember that 4 children you abandoned saved you when you had no one else. Keisha started driving. She drove Michael back to his building in silence. She stopped the car. If you hurt my children, Keisha said quietly, if you disappoint them, if you let them down the way you let me down, you will never see them again. Do you understand? Yes. Get out. Michael got out of the car. Keisha drove away. Michael stood on the sidewalk watching her car disappear. His children saved him. Children he never met. Children he abandoned. They saved him anyway. Michael walked into his building. He rode the elevator to his penthouse. He walked inside and sat on the floor. He did not sit on the couch. He sat on the cold floor and cried. His children had kind hearts, and he would never touch those hearts if he did not change everything about who he was. Michael stayed on the floor for a long time. The sun moved across the sky. Afternoon became evening. He finally stood up. His back hurt. His eyes were dry from crying. He needed to prove he was innocent. He needed to fix his life. Not for himself, for his children. They saved him. He had to become someone worth saving. Michael called his lawyer the next morning. Her name was Susan Porter. She was 50 years old and had short gray hair. Her office was on LaSalle Street downtown. Michael met her there at 10 o'clock. The FBI thinks you helped Thomas Wright steal $20 million, Susan said. She sat behind her desk with files spread out. Did you know what Thomas was doing? No. I trusted him to handle the finances while I focused on business development. That was your mistake. You are the CEO. You are responsible for everything. I know, but I did not know he was stealing. Susan looked at him carefully. I believe you, but we need to prove it. That will take time and money. How much money? $200,000, maybe more. Michael's savings account had $300,000 left. Most of his money was tied up in Carter Industries, which was falling apart. Do whatever you need to do. I need to clear my name. Susan worked for 3 weeks. She hired forensic accountants. They examined every financial record from Carter Industries. They looked at emails. They looked at bank statements. They interviewed employees. Michael waited. He could not work. No one would meet with him. His business partners stopped answering his calls. Investors wanted nothing to do with him. The media called him a criminal every day. Michael's mother called him during the 2nd week. Michael, I saw the news. Come stay with me. Let me help you. I am okay, Mom. You are not okay. You are alone. You need family. I need to handle this myself. You are being stubborn. I am being responsible. For the first time in my life, I am being responsible. His mother was quiet for a moment. What happened to you? You sound different. I realized I was wrong about everything. I have to fix it. I love you, Michael. I love you too, Mom. After 3 weeks, Susan called Michael. Come to my office. I have news." Michael drove downtown. He walked into Susan's office. She was smiling. That was a good sign. "The forensic accountants found proof," Susan said. "Thomas Wright created fake accounts. He forged your signature on documents. He stole the money without your knowledge. The FBI has evidence now. They know you did not know what Thomas was doing." Michael felt relief flood his body. "So the charges will be dropped?" "Yes. I am meeting with the prosecutor this afternoon. You will be cleared by the end of the week." "Thank you, Susan." "You are welcome. But Michael, there is bad news too." "What?" "Your reputation is destroyed. Even though you are innocent, people will always remember the arrest. They will always doubt you. Carter Industries is finished. Investors pulled out. Your business partners left. The company cannot survive this." Michael nodded slowly. He expected this. "I understand. You will lose a lot of money. Probably everything." "I already lost everything that mattered. Money does not matter anymore." Susan looked surprised. "That is not what most CEOs say." "I am not most CEOs anymore." The charges were dropped 3 days later. The FBI released a statement saying Michael Carter had no knowledge of Thomas Wright's crimes. Thomas Wright was arrested and charged. He would go to prison for a long time. But Susan was right. The damage was already done. Michael's reputation was destroyed. News articles mentioned the arrest more than the cleared charges. People remembered the handcuffs. They remembered the scandal. Carter Industries collapsed completely. The company filed for bankruptcy in February. Michael lost millions of dollars. Everything he built for 10 years disappeared in 2 months. The bank foreclosed on his penthouse. Michael had to move out. He packed his clothes and his laptop. He sold his furniture to pay debts. He sold his expensive car. He sold his watch and his designer clothes. Michael moved into a small studio apartment in Logan Square on the west side. The apartment had 1 room. The kitchen was tiny. The bathroom was old. The walls were white and empty. Michael owned a couch, a bed, a small table, and 2 chairs. That was all. He sat on the couch in his empty apartment. The place was quiet. No more city views. No more luxury. Just a small room with old carpet and a window that looked at another building. Michael did not feel sad. He felt clean. All the expensive things were gone. All the status was gone. Now he had to figure out who he was without any of it. Michael knew he needed help. He could not fix himself alone. He searched online for therapists in Chicago. He found a psychologist named Dr. Patricia Moore. Her office was in Wicker Park. She had good reviews. People said she was honest and direct. Michael called her office. "I would like to make an appointment." "What is your name?" the receptionist asked. "Michael Carter." There was a pause. "The Michael Carter from the news?" "Yes." "Dr. Moore has an opening on Thursday at 2 o'clock. "I will take it." Thursday afternoon, Michael walked to Dr. Patricia Moore's office. He did not have a car anymore. He took the bus. The office was in a small brick building. Michael walked up the stairs to the 2nd floor. Dr. Patricia Moore was 52 years old. She had brown skin and gray hair cut short. She wore glasses and a blue sweater. Her office had 2 chairs, a small couch, and bookshelves full of books. "Sit wherever you are comfortable," Dr. Patricia said. Michael sat in one of the chairs. Dr. Patricia sat in the other chair across from him. "Tell me why you are here," she said. "I made terrible mistakes. I hurt someone I loved. I have 4 children I never met. I need to change who I am." "Why do you want to change?" "Because my children saved me. I do not deserve them. I need to become someone who does." Dr. Patricia wrote something in her notebook. Tell me about the mistakes you made." Michael told her everything. He told her about marrying Keisha. He told her how he became obsessed with money and status. He told her about calling Keisha worthless. He told her about the divorce. He told her about finding out he had 4 children at the gala. Dr. Patricia listened without interrupting. When Michael finished, she was quiet for a moment. "You treated Keisha badly because you measured people by their income," Dr. Patricia said. "Is that correct?" "Yes." "Why did you measure people that way?" Michael thought about it. "I thought money meant someone was valuable. I thought success meant someone was worth knowing." "Where did you learn that?" "My father. He was a corporate lawyer. He worked all the time. He told me success was the most important thing. He told me winners were people who made money. Losers were people who did not." "Do you still believe that?" "No. Keisha is the strongest person I know. She was strong when she made $35,000 a year. She is still strong now that she makes millions. Money did not change her value. I was wrong." Dr. Patricia nodded. "That is good awareness, but awareness is not enough. You need to change your behavior." "How do I do that?" "You stop making excuses. You take responsibility for your actions. You stop thinking about yourself first. You serve other people." Michael felt frustrated. "I am trying. I admitted I was wrong. I apologized." Dr. Patricia held up her hand. "Stop. Listen to yourself. You just made excuses. You said you are trying. Trying is not good enough. You either do it or you do not do it." Michael felt anger rise in his chest. "I am here, am I not? I came to therapy. I am working on myself. You came to therapy because you want access to your children. You are still thinking about what you want. That is your problem." Michael stood up. "That is not fair. Sit down. I am not a child. Do not tell me what to do." Dr. Patricia stared at him calmly. "You are acting like a child right now. You do not want to hear the truth. You want me to tell you that you are a good person who made mistakes. But you were not a good person, Michael. You were cruel. You were arrogant. You threw away a woman who loved you because she did not make you look important." Michael sat down. His anger disappeared. He put his head in his hands. "You are right. I was terrible." "Yes, you were. But you can change. Change is hard. It takes time. It takes work. It takes humility. Do you have humility?" "I do now. I lost everything. I have nothing left to be proud of." "Good. Then we can start." They talked for another 30 minutes. Dr. Patricia gave Michael assignments. She told him to volunteer at a homeless shelter. She told him to write down every cruel thing he ever said to Keisha. She told him to stop measuring his worth by money. "I want to see you twice a week," Dr. Patricia said. "Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock. Can you afford that?" "How much do you charge?" $150 per session. Michael did the math in his head. That was $1,200 a month. He could afford it for a few months. "Yes, I can afford it." "Good. Do not miss appointments. Do not be late. If you are serious about change, you show up on time." "I will be here." Michael left Dr. Patricia's office. He walked outside into the cold February afternoon. Snow covered the sidewalk. He walked to the bus stop and waited. A bus came 10 minutes later. Michael got on and paid his fare. He sat in the back and looked out the window. He used to drive a luxury car. Now he rode the bus. He used to live in a penthouse. Now he lived in a studio apartment. He used to be rich. Now he was barely getting by. But for the first time in years, Michael felt hope. Michael went home and started his first assignment. Dr. Patricia told him to write down every cruel thing he ever said to Keisha. He sat at his small table with a notebook and pen. He wrote, "You are just a dead-end employee with no ambition." He wrote, I need a wife who matches my success. He wrote, Not everyone is meant to be a boss, baby. There is no shame in being support staff. Michael kept writing. The list grew longer. 2 pages. 3 pages. He remembered comments he made about her clothes, her job, her friends, her dreams. He criticized everything about her. By the end, the list was 5 pages long. Michael read it. He felt sick. He was a terrible husband. He treated Keisha like she was worthless. He made her feel small every single day. Michael folded the pages and put them in a drawer. He could not throw them away. He needed to remember what he did. He needed to remember who he was so he could become someone different. The next day, Michael searched for homeless shelters in Chicago. He found one called New Hope on the West Side. The website said they needed volunteers. Michael called the number. New Hope Center, this is Maria speaking. Hello, I would like to volunteer. What do you need help with? We always need people to serve meals. Can you come on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings? Yes. What time? 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I will be there. On Monday evening, Michael took the bus to the West Side. New Hope was in a large brick building. The sign outside was old and faded. Michael walked inside. The lobby smelled like food and cleaning supplies. A woman with gray hair came over. She was short and wore an apron. Are you Michael? Yes. I am Maria. Thank you for coming. Follow me. Maria led Michael to a kitchen. It was big with industrial stoves and metal counters. 5 other volunteers were preparing food. They wore aprons and hairnets. Put this on, Maria said. She handed Michael an apron and a hairnet. Michael put them on. Maria showed him how to serve food. They would give each person a plate with chicken, rice, vegetables, and bread. They would also give them water or juice. At 5:30, they opened the doors to the dining room. People came in. Homeless men, homeless women, families with children. They lined up at the serving counter. Michael stood behind the counter with a large spoon. He served rice onto each plate. A woman came first. She was maybe 40 years old. Her coat was dirty. Her face was tired. Thank you, she said quietly. You are welcome, Michael said. A man came next. He was older with a gray beard. He smiled at Michael. God bless you for being here. Michael nodded. He did not know what to say. More people came. Michael served rice to each person. Some people thanked him. Some people said nothing. Some people looked angry. Some people looked defeated. After 2 hours, the line ended. They served 137 people. Michael's back hurt from standing. His arms hurt from holding the spoon. Good work tonight, Maria said. Can you help clean up? Yes. Michael washed dishes for an hour. The water was hot. The dishes were heavy. His hands turned red and wrinkled. At 8 o'clock, Maria thanked everyone. The volunteers left. Michael walked to the bus stop. He waited in the cold. A man sat on the bench next to him. The man was homeless. His clothes were torn. He smelled bad. You got any money? The man asked. No, I am sorry. The man nodded and closed his eyes. Michael thought about his old life. He used to spend $100 on lunch. Now he had nothing to give this man. He used to judge homeless people. He used to think they were lazy or stupid. Now he served them food. Now he saw they were just people who had hard lives. The bus came. Michael got on. The homeless man stayed on the bench. Michael went home to his studio apartment. He ate a sandwich for dinner. He sat on his couch and thought about the people at the shelter. He thought about the woman with the tired face, the man with the gray beard, the families with children who had nowhere to live. Michael realized he was not special. He was not better than those people. He just had luck and privilege. He was born into a good family. He went to a good school. He had opportunities. If his life went differently, he could be sleeping on the street too. On Tuesday, Michael went to therapy with Dr. Patricia. "I volunteered at New Hope last night," Michael said. "I served food to homeless people." "How did it feel?" "Humbling. I used to judge homeless people. I thought they were failures, but they are just people who need help." "What did you learn?" "I learned that money does not make someone valuable. I learned that I am not special. I just had advantages that other people did not have." Dr. Patricia nodded. "That is good. Did you write the list I asked for?" "Yes. Every cruel thing I said to Keisha. It was 5 pages long." "How did you feel writing it?" "Disgusted. I treated her terribly. I made her feel worthless every day." "Why did you treat her that way?" Michael thought carefully. "Because I was insecure. I needed to feel important. I needed to feel better than someone. So I made her feel small." That is honest. Cruelty comes from insecurity. Strong people do not need to make others feel small. "I know that now." They talked for the full hour. Dr. Patricia asked hard questions. She did not let Michael make excuses. She pushed him to see the truth about himself. Michael left therapy feeling exhausted. The truth was painful, but he kept going. For the next 3 months, Michael followed the same routine. He volunteered at New Hope 3 nights a week. He went to therapy twice a week. He looked for work. No one wanted to hire a CEO with a destroyed reputation. Michael applied for consulting jobs. He sent out 50 resumes. He got 3 responses. 2 companies said no. 1 company offered him a small consulting contract. The job paid $3,000 a month. It was nothing compared to what Michael used to make. But it was enough to pay rent and food. Michael took the job. He worked from his apartment. He helped small businesses improve their operations. The work was simple, but honest. Michael did not complain. In April, Michael's mother came to visit. She knocked on his apartment door on a Saturday morning. Michael opened the door. "Mom, what are you doing here?" "I wanted to see where you live." Susan Carter walked into the studio apartment. She looked around at the small space, the old furniture, the empty walls. Her face showed concern. "Michael, you cannot live like this. Come home. Live with me until you get back on your feet." "I am on my feet, Mom. This is my life now. This is not the life you deserve." "It is exactly the life I deserve. I was cruel to Keisha. I abandoned my children. I lost everything because of my own choices. I am not running away from that." Susan sat down on the couch. "You sound different. You sound humble." "I am learning to be humble. It is hard. I am proud of you." Michael looked at his mother with surprise. "Why? I lost everything. I failed." "No, you are facing your mistakes. That takes courage. Most people just make excuses." Susan stayed for 2 hours. She met Michael for lunch at a small diner. She did not offer him money. She did not try to fix his problems. She just listened. That was what Michael needed. In May, Michael continued therapy and volunteering. He talked to people at New Hope. He learned their stories. A man named Robert lost his job and his apartment in the same month. A woman named Lisa left an abusive husband and had nowhere to go. A young man named David aged out of foster care with no support. Michael realized every person had a story. Every person had struggles. He was not better than them. He was just luckier. One evening in June, Michael was washing dishes at New Hope. Maria came over. "Michael, can I ask you something?" "Yes." "Why are you here? You do not have to be here." Michael stopped washing dishes. He looked at Maria. "I need to be here. I spent my whole life thinking I was better than other people. I was wrong. I come here to remember that I am not special. I am just a person who needs to serve other people." Maria smiled. "You have a good heart now. When you first came here, you looked angry. Now, you look peaceful. I am working on it." In late June, Michael sat at his laptop in his apartment. He opened a blank document. He started typing. He wrote about his mistakes. He wrote about calling Keisha worthless. He wrote about abandoning her. He wrote about his 4 children, who saved him even though he did not deserve it. Michael wrote for 3 hours. The letter was 2 pages long. It was honest. He did not make excuses. He did not ask for forgiveness. He just apologized and explained he was working to become better. Michael read the letter 5 times. He thought about posting it online, but that felt too easy. He wanted Keisha to see it, not the world. Then Michael changed his mind. His mistakes were public. His apology should be public too. He needed to take responsibility in front of everyone. Michael posted the letter on social media. He titled it, "An Apology to Keisha Williams and My Children." He pressed the button to publish it. Then he closed his laptop. Within an hour, the letter had 1,000 views. Within 2 hours, 10,000 views. By morning, 1 million people read it. Michael's phone filled with notifications. Some people said he was brave. Some people said he was trying to manipulate Keisha. Some people said words meant nothing without action. Michael did not respond to anyone. He turned off his phone. He went to volunteer at New Hope. He served food and washed dishes. He did not check his phone again until he got home. There was one message that made his heart stop. It was from Keisha. "My children want to meet you. I am giving you one chance. Saturday, October 7th at 10 o'clock in the morning. Lincoln Park Zoo. Do not be late." Michael read the message 10 times. His hands shook. His chest felt tight. He was going to meet his children. Michael stared at his phone for a long time. Saturday, October 7th. That was 5 days away. 5 days until he met his children for the first time. 5 days until he looked into their eyes and told them he was sorry. Michael typed a response. "Thank you. I will be there, I promise." He sent the message. Keisha did not respond. Michael could not sleep that night. He lay in bed staring at the ceiling. What would he say to them? What would they think of him? Would they hate him? Would they be scared of him? The next morning, Michael called Dr. Patricia. "I got a message from Keisha. I am meeting my children on Saturday." "How do you feel?" "Terrified. What if I say the wrong thing? What if they hate me?" "Michael, stop thinking about yourself. Think about them. They are meeting their father for the first time. They are probably scared too. Your job is to make them feel safe." "How do I do that?" "You be honest. You apologize. You listen. You do not make promises you cannot keep." "Okay?" "Okay, I can do that." "Can you?" "Yes, I can do that." Michael spent the next 5 days preparing. He bought new clothes, nothing expensive, just clean jeans and a simple sweater. He got a haircut. He practiced what he would say. He wrote down questions he wanted to ask the children. On Friday night, Michael could not eat dinner. His stomach hurt from nervousness. He went to bed at 9 o'clock but did not sleep. He stared at the clock. 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Midnight. 2 in the morning. 4 in the morning. At 6 o'clock, Michael gave up trying to sleep. He got up and took a shower. He got dressed. He looked at himself in the mirror. He looked tired. His eyes were red. But he looked clean and presentable. Michael left his apartment at 8:30. The meeting was at 10 o'clock, but he could not wait at home anymore. He took the bus to Lincoln Park. He got off at the zoo entrance at 9 o'clock. He was 1 hour early. Michael walked around the zoo entrance. He sat on a bench. He stood up. He walked around again. He checked his phone every 2 minutes. At 9:45, Michael stood by the main entrance gate. He watched every car that pulled into the parking lot. His heart pounded. At exactly 10 o'clock, a black SUV pulled into the lot. Michael recognized it. It was Keisha's car. The car parked. The engine turned off. The driver's door opened. Keisha stepped out. She wore jeans and a jacket. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail. She looked beautiful but tired. The back doors opened. 4 children climbed out. 2 boys, 2 girls. They were bigger than Michael expected. They were 4 years old now, almost 5. They wore jackets and sneakers. They held Keisha's hands. Michael's legs felt weak. Those were his children. They were real. They were standing right there. Keisha walked toward Michael with the children. She stopped a few feet away. "Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, Zoe," Keisha said. "This is Michael Carter. He is your father." The children stared at Michael. Michael stared back. He did not know what to say. One of the boys stepped forward. He was serious-looking with dark brown eyes. "I am Marcus." Marcus held out his hand. Michael shook it. The boy's hand was small and warm. His handshake was firm. "Hello, Marcus. It is good to meet you." The other boy stepped forward. He looked like Marcus, but his face was softer. "I am Isaiah." Isaiah did not shake Michael's hand. He hugged him carefully. Michael froze for a second. Then he hugged Isaiah back. The boy was warm and smelled like soap. "Hi, Isaiah," Michael said quietly. One of the girls watched Michael carefully. She did not step forward. She stayed close to Keisha. "I am Amara." "Hello, Amara." The other girl smiled. She had a yellow bow in her hair. "I am Zoe. Are you really our dad?" Michael's throat felt tight. He knelt down so he was at their eye level. He looked at each child's face. They had his eyes, his nose, his mouth, but they had Keisha's warmth, her kindness. "I am your father by blood," Michael said slowly, "but I need to earn the right to be your dad. Do you understand the difference?" Marcus nodded. "A father is biology. A dad is someone who stays." Michael's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, that is exactly right. I was not there when you were born. I made terrible mistakes. I hurt your mother. I am so sorry." "Why did you leave?" Amara asked. Her voice was quiet but firm. Michael looked at Keisha. She watched him carefully. She did not help him. This was his responsibility. "I left because I was a bad person," Michael said. "I cared about money more than I cared about love. I thought I was better than your mother. I was wrong. Your mother is the strongest, kindest, smartest person I ever met. I was too stupid to see that." "Did you know about us?" Marcus asked. "No, I did not know your mother was pregnant. She found out after I left. If I had known—" Michael stopped. "No, I cannot say if I had known. I do not know what I would have done. I was a different person then. A bad person." "Are you a good person now?" Zoe asked. "I am trying to be. I am working very hard to be a good person. But I have a long way to go." Isaiah looked at Michael with big eyes. "Do you want to be our dad?" Michael's tears fell down his face. He did not wipe them away. "Yes, more than anything in the world, but only if you want me to be. I will not force you. I will not push you. I will be here if you want me. If you do not want me, I understand." Zoe stepped forward and hugged Michael. She wrapped her small arms around his neck. "I want you to be our dad." Michael held her carefully. She was so small, so fragile. He was afraid he would break her. He started crying harder. Isaiah joined the hug. Then Marcus. Amara stayed back for a moment. Then she stepped forward and put her hand on Michael's shoulder. That was enough. Keisha cleared her throat. Okay, let us walk through the zoo. The children let go of Michael. They walked toward the zoo entrance. Michael stood up. His knees hurt from kneeling. His face was wet from tears. Keisha handed him a tissue. Thank you, Michael whispered. Do not thank me yet. Do not mess this up. They walked into the zoo together. The children talked excitedly. Marcus pointed at a map. Can we see the lions first? Then the monkeys, Zoe said. Then the penguins, Isaiah added. Amara walked next to Keisha. She held her mother's hand tightly. They walked to the lion exhibit. The lions were sleeping in the sun. The children pressed their faces against the glass. Michael stood behind them. He did not know what to do with his hands. He felt awkward. Do lions sleep all day? Marcus asked. Most of the day, Michael said. They sleep about 20 hours a day. 20 hours? That is so much. They walked to the monkey exhibit. The monkeys jumped and played. Zoe laughed. They are so funny. One monkey came close to the glass. Zoe pressed her hand against it. The monkey touched the glass from the other side. Zoe's face lit up with joy. Mom, did you see? The monkey touched my hand. Keisha smiled. I saw, baby. Zoe turned to Michael. Did you see? I saw. That was amazing. Zoe grabbed Michael's hand. Her hand was tiny in his. Michael's heart felt like it would burst. He was holding his daughter's hand. His daughter. This was real. They walked to the penguin exhibit. The penguins swam in the water. Isaiah watched them carefully. I read about penguins, Isaiah said. They mate for life. They stay with the same partner forever. That is right, Keisha said. Isaiah looked at Michael. Why did you not stay with Mom? The question was innocent, but painful. Michael knelt down next to Isaiah. Because I did not understand what mattered. I thought money and success were important. I did not understand that love and family were more important. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Do you love Mom? Isaiah asked. Michael looked at Keisha. She watched him with careful eyes. I love who your mother is, Michael said. She is an incredible person. But I hurt her badly. That kind of hurt does not go away. I do not deserve her love anymore. Keisha looked away. Michael could not read her expression. They walked through the zoo for 2 hours. The children asked Michael questions. What is your favorite animal? Where do you live? What do you do for work? Do you like pizza? Michael answered every question honestly. He told them about his small apartment, his consulting job, his volunteer work at New Hope. He did not lie. He did not pretend to be successful. At noon, they stopped at the zoo cafe. Keisha bought hot dogs and juice for everyone. They sat at a picnic table. The children ate and laughed. Michael watched them. He memorized their faces. The way Marcus ate carefully. The way Isaiah hummed while he chewed. The way Amara watched everything quietly. The way Zoe talked with her mouth full. After lunch, Keisha looked at her watch. It is time to go. Say goodbye. Already? Zoe said. Can we stay longer? Not today. Maybe next time. Next time. Those words gave Michael hope. The children hugged Michael goodbye. Marcus hugged him longer this time. Isaiah squeezed tight. Zoe kissed his cheek. Amara gave him a small wave. Can we see you again? Marcus asked. Michael looked at Keisha. She was quiet for a moment. We will see, Keisha said. If today went well, maybe in 2 weeks. Please, Mom, Zoe begged. Keisha sighed. 2 weeks. Saturday, October 21st. Same time. The children cheered. They ran to the car. Keisha stayed behind for a moment. You did well today, she said quietly. Thank you for this chance. I did not do it for you. I did it for them. I know. Keisha walked to her car. Michael watched them drive away. He stood in the parking lot until the car disappeared. Then Michael sat on a bench and cried. These were not sad tears. These were grateful tears. He met his children. They hugged him. They wanted to see him again. For the first time in years, Michael felt like maybe he could become the father they deserved. Michael rode the bus home. He sat by the window and watched the city pass by. His face still felt wet from tears. His chest still felt tight. He met his children. They were real. They were beautiful. They wanted to see him again. 2 weeks felt like a long time to wait. But Michael had work to do. He needed to keep proving he was changing. He needed to keep becoming someone his children could be proud of. The next day, Michael went to therapy with Dr. Patricia. I met my children yesterday, Michael said as soon as he sat down. How did it go? It was the best day of my life. They are incredible. Marcus is smart and serious. Isaiah is sensitive and kind. Amara is careful and observant. Zoe is joyful and loving. How did you feel? Terrified at first, then grateful, then sad. I missed 4 years of their lives. I will never get those years back. Dr. Patricia leaned forward. You cannot change the past. You can only change what you do now. Did you apologize to them? Yes. I told them I made terrible mistakes. I told them I hurt their mother. I told them I need to earn the right to be their dad. That is good. What happens next? I see them again in 2 weeks. Then hopefully more after that. Michael, listen carefully. Children need consistency. They need someone who shows up every time. If you promise to be there, you must be there. Do you understand? Yes. I will never miss a visit. Never. Over the next 6 months, Michael saw his children every other weekend. At first, Keisha was always present. She watched Michael carefully during every visit. She did not let him be alone with the children. Michael understood. He did not complain. He earned her trust slowly. On the second visit, they went to Millennium Park. The children ran through the Crown Fountain. Water sprayed from the big faces on the screen. Zoe and Isaiah laughed and got soaked. Marcus tried to predict when the water would spray. Amara watched from a distance with dry clothes. Do you want to run through the water? Michael asked Amara. No, I do not like getting wet. That is okay. We can sit here and watch. They sat on a bench together. Amara was quiet for a long time. Why did you call my mom worthless? Amara asked suddenly. Michael's chest hurt. Because I was a bad person who measured people by the wrong things. What wrong things? Money, status, jobs. I thought people who made less money were worth less. I was very wrong. Do you still think that? No. Your mother is worth more than anyone I know. She was worth everything when she made $35,000 a year. She is still worth everything now that she makes millions. Money does not change someone's value. Amara nodded slowly. She did not say anything else, but she sat a little closer to Michael on the bench. On the fourth visit, Marcus brought his science homework. It was a project about volcanoes. He needed to build a volcano model that erupted. Can you help me? Marcus asked Michael. I would love to help you. They sat at a picnic table at the park. Marcus showed Michael the instructions. They needed baking soda, vinegar, food coloring, and a model volcano. We can build the volcano at your house, Michael said. Ask your mom if I can come over to help. Marcus ran to Keisha. They talked quietly. Keisha looked at Michael. She hesitated. Then she nodded. You can come to our house next Saturday, Keisha said, for 2 hours. I will be there the whole time. The next Saturday, Michael took the bus to Keisha's townhouse in Lincoln Park. The house was beautiful. 3 stories with a red door and flower boxes in the windows. Keisha let Michael inside. The house was warm and full of light. Toys were on the floor. Books were on the shelves. Pictures of the children covered the walls. This was a home full of love. "We can work in the garage," Keisha said. Marcus led Michael to the garage. They spent 2 hours building a volcano out of clay and cardboard. They painted it brown and red. They made it look like a real mountain. "Now we test it," Marcus said. They put baking soda inside the volcano. Marcus poured vinegar mixed with red food coloring. The volcano erupted. Foam poured down the sides. "It works!" Marcus shouted. "It really works," Michael smiled. "You did a great job, Marcus. We did it together." Those words made Michael's heart feel full. 2 weeks later, Isaiah had a piano recital at Lincoln Elementary School. Keisha texted Michael the information. "Isaiah wants you to come. 7 o'clock on Thursday. Do not be late." Michael took the bus to the school. He arrived 30 minutes early. He sat in the auditorium and waited. Parents filled the seats. The room smelled like perfume and coffee. Keisha arrived with all 4 children. She saw Michael and walked over. "You came," she said. "I promised I would never miss anything important." They sat together in the audience. The children sat between them. The recital started. 20 children played piano. Some played well. Some made mistakes. Then Isaiah walked onto the stage. He wore a white shirt and black pants. He looked nervous. He sat at the piano. He looked at the audience. His eyes found Michael. Michael gave him a thumbs up. Isaiah smiled. He started playing. The song was called Für Elise by Beethoven. His small hands moved across the keys. He played beautifully. He only made one small mistake, but he kept going. When he finished, everyone clapped. Michael stood up and clapped loudly. Tears ran down his face. That was his son. His son played piano beautifully. After the recital, Isaiah ran to Michael. "Did you hear me play?" "I heard you. You were amazing." "I messed up one part, but you kept going. That is what matters. I am so proud of you." Isaiah hugged Michael tightly. "Thank you for coming, Dad." Michael froze. Isaiah called him Dad. Not Michael? Dad. Michael looked at Keisha. She heard it too. Her face was soft, but sad. "You earned it," she said quietly. 3 months after the first meeting, Keisha allowed unsupervised visits. Michael could take the children for a few hours without Keisha being there. "If you are 1 minute late bringing them back, this ends," Keisha warned. "If they come home upset, this ends. Do you understand?" "I understand. I will protect them with my life." Michael took the children to Navy Pier on a sunny Saturday in December. They rode the Ferris wheel. The wheel was 150 feet tall. The children pressed their faces against the window. "I can see the whole city," Zoe said. "Look, there is our school." Marcus pointed. They ate hot dogs and French fries. They played arcade games. Michael won Amara a stuffed penguin. She hugged it tightly. They walked along the pier and looked at the water. The lake was gray and cold. Boats moved slowly in the distance. Marcus walked next to Michael. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course." "Do you still love Mom?" Michael stopped walking. The other children stopped too. They all looked at him. "I love who your mother is," Michael said carefully. "She is strong and kind and incredible. But I hurt her very badly. I destroyed the love she had for me. That was my fault. I do not deserve her love anymore." "But do you wish you did not hurt her?" Isaiah asked. "Every single day. Hurting your mother is the biggest regret of my life." Amara looked at Michael. "Are you going to leave us?" No, never. I promise. How do we know you will keep your promise? Amara asked. You left before. I left before because I was a bad person who did not understand what mattered. I am different now. I know what matters. You four matter. Being your father is the most important thing in my life. I will never leave you. Zoe grabbed Michael's hand. I believe you, Dad. Isaiah grabbed his other hand. Me too. Marcus nodded. We will give you a chance. But if you break your promise, we will never forgive you. I understand. I will not break my promise. They walked back to the car. Michael felt lighter. His children were giving him a chance. They were calling him Dad. Well, Zoe and Isaiah called him Dad. Marcus and Amara still called him Michael. That was okay. They needed more time. 2 weeks later, Zoe showed up at a visit with a painting. She made it at school. It was a family portrait. She painted Keisha in the center, wearing a blue dress. She painted Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and herself holding hands. And she painted Michael standing next to them. She put a yellow sun in the corner. This is our family, Zoe said. I made it for you. Michael's eyes filled with tears. Can I keep this? Yes. I made it so you remember us when we are not with you. Michael hugged Zoe. Thank you. This is the most beautiful gift anyone ever gave me. Michael took the painting home. He hung it on the wall in his studio apartment. It was the only decoration he had. Every morning when he woke up, he looked at that painting. It reminded him why he was working so hard to change. Keisha and Michael learned to communicate about the children. They texted about school schedules. They discussed doctor appointments. They attended parent-teacher conferences together. At one conference in January, they sat in small chairs in Marcus's classroom. The teacher, Mrs. Johnson, talked about Marcus's progress. Marcus is extremely bright, Mrs. Johnson said, but he is also a perfectionist. He gets frustrated when he cannot solve a problem immediately. He gets that from me, Michael said quietly. Keisha looked at him with surprise. Michael rarely talked during these meetings. How do we help him? Keisha asked. Teach him that mistakes are okay. Teach him that learning takes time. After the meeting, Keisha and Michael walked to the parking lot. You were helpful in there, Keisha said. I want to be involved. I want to help. Keisha unlocked her car. She hesitated before getting in. You have changed, Michael. I see it. The children see it too. I am trying. I know. Keep trying. Keisha drove away. Michael walked to the bus stop. His heart felt full. 6 months after meeting his children, Michael's life looked completely different. He saw Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe every other weekend and one evening during the week. He helped with homework. He attended school events. He read bedtime stories when Keisha allowed him to stay late. The children loved him now. They trusted him. Zoe and Isaiah called him Dad all the time. Marcus called him Dad sometimes. Amara still called him Michael most of the time, but she smiled at him now. Michael continued therapy and volunteering. He still lived in his small apartment. He still worked his modest consulting job. He was not rich anymore. He was not powerful. But he was happy in a way he never was before. One cold evening in February, all 4 children were at Michael's apartment for dinner. Keisha let them visit for 3 hours. Michael made spaghetti. The children ate and laughed and told stories. After dinner, they watched a movie together. Zoe fell asleep on Michael's shoulder. Isaiah leaned against his other side. Marcus and Amara sat on the floor with pillows. When the movie ended, Amara looked back at Michael. Dad, she said quietly, can you teach me how to make spaghetti next time? Michael's eyes filled with tears. Amara called him Dad. For the first time. Dad. Yes, Michael whispered. I would love that. All four of his children called him Dad now, and Michael finally understood what it meant to be successful. Michael brought the children back to Keisha's house at exactly 7 o'clock that evening. He was never late. Not once in 6 months. He walked them to the door. Keisha opened it. "Did you have fun?" she asked the children. "Dad made spaghetti," Zoe said. "It was so good." "And we watched a movie," Isaiah added. "Can we go back next week?" Marcus asked. Keisha looked at Michael. "We will see. It is a school week." The children hugged Michael goodbye and went inside. Keisha stayed at the door. "They are happy when they come home from your place," Keisha said. "That is good. I am trying my best." "I know you are. Keep doing what you are doing." Keisha closed the door. Michael walked back to the bus stop. The night was cold, but he felt warm inside. His children were happy. That was all that mattered. Spring came. The snow melted. Trees grew green leaves. Michael continued his routine. Therapy twice a week. Volunteering at New Hope 3 nights a week. Work during the day. Children every other weekend and Wednesday evenings. In March, Keisha called Michael on a Tuesday afternoon. "The children's birthday is coming up," she said. "March 3rd. They will be 5 years old." Michael's chest tightened. 5 years old. He missed their first 5 birthdays. All of them. "I am having a party at my house on Saturday, March 3rd, Keisha continued. "The children want you to come." "Are you sure? I do not want to intrude." "Michael, they asked for you. This is not about what I want. This is about what they want. Can you come or not?" "Yes, I will be there." "What time?" "Noon. The party starts at noon. Bring a gift if you want, but nothing expensive. They do not need expensive things." "Okay, I will be there." Michael spent the next week thinking about gifts. He did not have much money. He could not buy expensive toys, but he wanted to give them something meaningful. Michael decided to make gifts instead of buying them. For Marcus, he made a notebook full of science facts and experiments they could do together. For Isaiah, he wrote down the names of beautiful piano songs Isaiah could learn. For Amara, he wrote a short story about a brave girl who saved her family. For Zoe, he bought a small canvas and paints so they could paint together. On Saturday, March 3rd, Michael took the bus to Keisha's house. He arrived at 11:45, 15 minutes early. He never wanted to be late. Michael walked up to the front door carrying his gifts wrapped in simple paper. He could hear children laughing inside. Music played. He knocked on the door. Keisha's mother, Lorraine, opened the door. She was 65 years old with gray hair and kind eyes. Michael met her once before at a school event. "Hello, Michael," Lorraine said. "Come in." Michael walked inside. The house was full of balloons. Blue, pink, yellow, and green balloons covered the ceiling. A banner said, "Happy 5th birthday, Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe," in colorful letters. Children ran around the living room. Some Michael recognized from school events. Others he did not know. Parents stood in the kitchen talking and drinking coffee. "Dad!" Zoe ran over and hugged Michael's legs. "You came!" "Of course I came. I would never miss your birthday. Come see the cake. It is so big." Zoe pulled Michael into the kitchen. A large cake sat on the counter. It had 4 layers. Each layer was a different color. 5 candles sat on top. Keisha stood by the counter cutting fruit. She wore jeans and a sweater. Her hair was down. She looked tired but happy. "You are early," Keisha said. "I did not want to be late." "You are never late anymore." Michael did not know what to say to that. Keisha went back to cutting fruit. The party was loud and joyful. Children played games. They ran around. They laughed. Michael helped set up tables. He helped carry food. He helped clean up spills. Marcus came over with a science book. "Dad, look at this." It is about space. That is amazing. Do you want to learn about space? Yes, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. Then we will learn about space together. Isaiah played piano in the living room. A small keyboard sat in the corner. Isaiah played a song for the guests. Everyone clapped. Michael clapped the loudest. Amara sat in a chair reading a book. Michael sat next to her. "Are you having fun?" he asked. "Yes, but parties are loud. I like quiet better." "Me too. Do you want to sit outside for a minute where it is quieter?" Amara nodded. They went to the back porch. They sat on a bench together. The yard was small but pretty. Flowers grew in pots. A tree stood in the corner. "I wrote you a story for your birthday," Michael said. "It is about a girl who is smart and brave. She reminds me of you." Amara looked at him with surprise. "You wrote me a story?" "Yes. It is not very long, but I hope you like it." "Can I read it now?" "It is wrapped with your other gifts. You can open it when everyone opens presents." "Okay." Amara was quiet for a moment. "Thank you for coming to our party. Thank you for inviting me." They went back inside. At 1 o'clock, Keisha brought out the cake. She put 5 candles on top and lit them. Everyone sang "Happy Birthday." The children blew out the candles together. They made wishes with their eyes closed. Michael watched them and felt his chest ache. They were so beautiful, so perfect. He missed 5 years of their lives. He would never get those years back, but he was here now. He would be here for every birthday from now on. After cake, the children opened presents. They got toys, books, clothes, and games from their friends and family. Then they opened Michael's gifts. Marcus opened his notebook full of science facts. His eyes went wide. "This is so cool! Look, Mom! Dad wrote all these experiments we can do." Isaiah opened his list of piano songs. "I want to learn all of these." Amara opened her story. She read the first page, then the second page. She kept reading until she finished the whole story. Then she looked at Michael with tears in her eyes. "This is the best gift anyone ever gave me." Zoe opened her canvas and paints. "Can we paint together right now?" "Maybe later," Keisha said. "Let other people open their gifts first." After presents, the party continued. Children played. Parents talked. Michael helped clean up wrapping paper and empty plates. At 4 o'clock, guests started leaving. Parents picked up their children. They thanked Keisha for the party. By 5 o'clock, only family remained. Keisha's mother, Lorraine. Keisha's business partner, David Chen, and his wife. And Michael. The children were tired, but happy. They lay on the floor, playing with their new toys. Michael sat on the couch. Keisha sat in a chair. Lorraine brought coffee for the adults. "That was a good party," Lorraine said. "The children were so happy." "They were," Keisha agreed. She looked at Michael. "Thank you for helping today. You did not have to stay and clean up." "I wanted to help." David Chen walked over. He was 45 years old, with glasses and short black hair. He was Keisha's business partner and friend. Michael met him briefly at the gala a year ago. "Michael," David said, "it is good to see you again." "It is good to see you too. The children talk about you all the time. They love you very much." "I love them too." David nodded. "Keisha told me what you did, how you changed. That takes strength. Most men do not change. I had no choice. I had to change or lose everything that mattered." "Well, you did it. The children are proof." At 6 o'clock, Michael said goodbye. The children hugged him. They thanked him for the gifts. They asked when they would see him again. "Wednesday," Michael said. "I will pick you up from school." "Promise?" Zoe asked. "I promise." Michael walked to the bus stop. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. Michael felt peaceful. He thought about the past year. A year ago, he was at the Gala watching Keisha walk in with 4 children he did not know existed. He was rich and powerful and empty. Now he was poor and humble and full. He had his children. That was all he needed. Michael continued seeing his children regularly. Every other weekend, Wednesday evenings, school events, recitals, games, birthdays, holidays. He never missed anything. In April, Michael went to Amara's school reading event. She read the story Michael wrote for her birthday to her whole class. Michael sat in the audience with tears in his eyes. In May, Michael helped Marcus with his math homework. Math was hard for Marcus. He got frustrated easily. Michael taught him to be patient with himself. Everyone learns at different speeds, Michael told him. It is okay to take your time. In June, Michael and Isaiah practiced piano together. Michael did not know how to play piano, but he learned so he could help Isaiah. They sat at the keyboard together playing simple songs. In July, Michael and Zoe painted together every Wednesday evening. They sat at the kitchen table with canvases and paints. Zoe painted flowers and rainbows. Michael painted simple shapes. "You are not very good at painting, Dad," Zoe said one evening. Michael laughed. "I know, but I have fun doing it with you. That is what matters, having fun together." Michael hugged her. "You are right. That is exactly what matters." By August, Michael's relationship with Keisha became easier. They were not friends. They would never be friends, but they were respectful co-parents. They communicated well about the children. They made decisions together. They supported each other. One evening in September, Keisha texted Michael, "Marcus has a soccer game on Saturday at 10. Can you come?" "Yes, I will be there." Michael went to the soccer game. He sat next to Keisha on the bleachers. They cheered for Marcus together. When Marcus scored a goal, they both stood up and clapped. After the game, Marcus ran over. His face was sweaty and happy. "Did you see? Did you see my goal?" "We saw," Keisha said. "You were amazing." "I am so proud of you," Michael added. Marcus hugged them both. In that moment, they were a family. Not a traditional family, not a perfect family, but a family. By October, 1 full year had passed since Michael first met his children at the zoo. Michael thought about how much changed in 1 year. He went from a stranger to a father. His children went from not knowing him to loving him. Michael still lived in his small apartment. He still worked his consulting job. He still volunteered at New Hope. He still went to therapy. His life was simple and quiet. He was not rich. He was not powerful. He was not famous. But when he looked at Zoe's painting on his wall, the painting of their family with the yellow sun, Michael knew he finally had everything he ever needed. Michael woke up on a cold morning in late February. 1 year had passed since the children's 4th birthday party. 1 year of regular visits. 1 year of being a father. 1 year of living in his small studio apartment in Logan Square. Michael got out of bed and made coffee in his tiny kitchen. He sat at his small table and opened his laptop. His consulting business was growing slowly. He had 5 clients now, small businesses that needed help with operations and planning. The work did not pay much, but it paid enough. Michael worked for 3 hours. Then he closed his laptop and got ready. Today was Wednesday. He picked up the children from school every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. It was his favorite day of the week. Michael took the bus to Lincoln Elementary School. He arrived at 2:45. He waited outside the school entrance with other parents. At 3 o'clock, the doors opened. Children poured out. Zoe saw Michael first. She ran to him and jumped into his arms. "Dad!" Michael caught her and spun her around. Isaiah came next and hugged Michael's waist. Marcus and Amara walked over more calmly. They were getting older now, Almost 5. They did not run anymore. "How was school?" Michael asked. "Good," Zoe said. "I painted a picture of a butterfly." "I got an A on my spelling test," Isaiah said. "My teacher said I read at a second-grade level," Amara added quietly. "And I finished my math workbook early," Marcus said. "I am ahead of the whole class." "I am so proud of all of you," Michael said. They walked to the bus stop together. The children talked about their day. They told Michael about their classes, their friends, their teachers. Michael listened to every word. They rode the bus to Michael's apartment. The children knew the route now. They knew exactly how many stops until they got off. At Michael's apartment, they did homework first. That was the rule. Homework before playing. Marcus worked on reading. Isaiah practiced writing letters. Amara read a chapter book. Zoe colored a worksheet about shapes. Michael helped each child with their work. He sat with Marcus and sounded out difficult words. He showed Isaiah how to make his letters neater. He asked Amara questions about her book. He told Zoe the names of all the shapes. After homework, they had snack time. Michael made peanut butter sandwiches and cut up apples. The children sat at his small table eating and talking. "Dad, can we paint today?" Zoe asked. "Yes, after snack we will paint." "Can I practice piano?" Isaiah asked. "I brought my keyboard just for you. It is in the closet." "Can we do a science experiment?" Marcus asked. "What kind of experiment?" "I want to make slime." Michael laughed. "Okay, we can make slime, but we have to clean it up after." They spent the afternoon doing activities together. Zoe and Michael painted at the table. She painted a rainbow. He painted a tree. Isaiah practiced piano in the corner. He played a song called "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." Marcus and Amara made slime in the kitchen using glue, water, and borax. The slime turned out green and stretchy. At 6 o'clock, Michael walked the children back to Keisha's house. It was only 10 blocks away. They walked together in the cold evening air. The sun was setting. Streetlights came on. When they reached the house, Keisha opened the door. She wore work clothes. She just got home from the office. "Did you have fun?" she asked the children. "We made slime." Marcus held up a container of green slime. "I practiced piano," Isaiah said. "Dad and I painted," Zoe added. "I read 3 chapters of my book," Amara said. Keisha looked at Michael. "Thank you for picking them up today. I had a late meeting." "It is not a problem. I love spending time with them." "I know you do." Keisha paused. "The children's birthday is coming up. March 3rd. They will be 5 years old." "I remember. I am having a party again, same as last year. Noon on Saturday. Can you come?" "Of course. I will be there." The children went inside. Keisha closed the door. Michael walked back to the bus stop. His heart felt full. This was his life now. Simple, quiet, focused on his children. The weeks passed quickly. Michael continued his routine. Work, therapy, volunteering. Children every other weekend and Wednesday evenings. On Friday, March 2nd, Michael went shopping for birthday gifts. He did not have much money. He saved what he could from his consulting work. He bought Marcus a book about planets and space. He bought Isaiah sheet music for new piano songs. He bought Amara a journal for writing her stories. He bought Zoe a set of colored pencils for drawing. Saturday morning, March 3rd, Michael woke up early. Today, his children turned 5 years old. 5 years ago, they were born. 5 years ago, Keisha gave birth alone, while Michael lived his selfish life, not knowing they existed. Michael got dressed and wrapped the gifts. He took the bus to Keisha's house. He arrived at 11:45, always 15 minutes early. Lorraine answered the door. She smiled when she saw Michael. "Hello, Michael. Come in." The house was decorated with balloons again. A new banner hung on the wall. "Happy 5th birthday!" Music played. Children ran around. Parents talked in the kitchen. Michael walked in carrying his gifts. The children saw him immediately. "Dad!" All four of them ran over and hugged him. "Happy birthday," Michael said. He knelt down and hugged all four at once. "I cannot believe you are 5 years old." "We are so big now," Zoe said. You are growing up so fast." Michael spent the afternoon helping with the party. He set up tables, he poured drinks, he helped serve food, he cleaned up spills. He talked to parents. He watched his children play with their friends. Keisha worked in the kitchen preparing food. Michael joined her. "Can I help with anything?" he asked. "You can cut the vegetables for the salad." Michael washed his hands and started cutting carrots. They worked in silence for a few minutes. "Thank you for being here," Keisha said quietly. "It means a lot to them." "There is nowhere else I would rather be." Keisha looked at him. Her face was serious. "You have changed, Michael. Really changed. I did not think it was possible, but you proved me wrong." "I had to change. I had no choice." Everyone has a choice. You chose to do the work. Most people do not. At 1 o'clock, Keisha brought out the birthday cake. It was even bigger than last year. 5 layers, 5 candles on top. Everyone sang "Happy Birthday." The children blew out the candles together. Michael watched them and felt tears fill his eyes. They were so happy, so loved, so perfect. He almost missed all of this. He almost threw this away before it even began. After cake, the children opened presents. They got toys and books and clothes from their friends. Then they opened Michael's gifts. Marcus opened his book about space. "This is awesome. Look at all the planets." Isaiah opened his sheet music. "I want to learn these songs." Amara opened her journal. "Thank you, Dad. I am going to write a story tonight." Zoe opened her colored pencils. "Can we draw together later?" "Yes. Anytime you want." The party continued until 4 o'clock. Guests left. Parents picked up their children. Soon only family remained. Lorraine, David Chen and his wife, and Michael. The children were tired. They lay on the couch watching a movie. Lorraine brought coffee for the adults. They sat in the kitchen talking quietly. "Michael, can I ask you something?" Lorraine said. "Of course. What made you change? What made you finally see what you were doing wrong?" Michael thought about the question carefully. "I saw my children at the gala. I saw what I threw away. Then they saved me when I was in jail, even though they did not know me. That broke something in me. I realized I was measuring my worth by the wrong things. I thought money and power made me valuable. But my children loved me before I earned it. They showed me that love is not about what you have. It is about who you are." Lorraine nodded. "That is wise. It took you a long time to learn it." "It did. Too long. But I learned it." At 5 o'clock, Lorraine and David left. Michael started cleaning up. He picked up plates and cups. He threw away trash. He wiped down tables. Keisha came over. "You do not have to clean up. I want to help." They cleaned together in silence. The children stayed on the couch watching their movie. When the kitchen was clean, Keisha made tea. She poured 2 cups. "Come sit on the porch," she said. They walked to the back porch. They sat on the bench together. The sun was setting. The sky was pink and orange. The air was cold, but not freezing. Spring was coming. "You have done well, Michael," Keisha said. "The children are happy. They love you. You show up for them every single time. That is all I want, to be the father they deserve. You are. You really are." Keisha was quiet for a moment. "I need you to know something. I will never take you back romantically. That part of us is dead. You killed it when you called me worthless and left." Michael's chest hurt. But he nodded. I know. I do not expect anything from you. I destroyed what we had. I know that. But I respect you now. I see how hard you worked to change. I see how much you love our children. That respect means something. It means everything. They sat in silence, watching the sky change colors. Inside, the children laughed at their movie. This was not the family Michael imagined 5 years ago. This was better. This was real. At 6 o'clock, Michael said goodbye. The children hugged him. They thanked him for coming. They thanked him for their gifts. When will we see you again? Marcus asked. This weekend, Saturday morning. We can go to the museum. Promise? Zoe asked. I promise. Michael walked to the bus stop. The evening was dark now. Streetlights glowed. Michael felt peaceful. 1 year ago, he met his children for the first time. Now they were a regular part of his life. Now he was their dad. Michael rode the bus home. He walked into his small studio apartment. He looked at Zoe's painting on the wall. The painting of their family with the yellow sun into the corner. 5 years ago, Michael was a CEO worth millions of dollars. He had a penthouse. He had expensive cars. He had power and status and success. But he had nothing that mattered. Now, Michael lived in a studio apartment. He rode the bus. He worked a modest job. He volunteered at a homeless shelter. He had no money. He had no power. He had no status. But he had his children. He had Marcus, Isaiah, Amara, and Zoe. He had their love. He had their trust. He had their hugs and their laughter and their questions. He had Wednesday evenings doing homework. He had Saturday mornings at the museum. He had birthday parties and piano recitals and soccer games. Michael sat on his old couch. He closed his eyes. He thought about everything he lost and everything he gained. He lost his money. He gained humility. He lost his pride. He gained wisdom. He lost his marriage. He gained his children. He lost everything that did not matter. He gained everything that did. Michael opened his eyes and looked at the painting again. His children drew him into their family. They gave him a place, even though he did not deserve it. They forgave him before he forgave himself. Real success was not money or power. Real success was not status or fame. Real success was being the person your children were proud to call Dad. Michael finally understood that truth. It took him 5 years, a destroyed reputation, a collapsed business, and a jail cell to learn it. But he learned it. And now, sitting in his small apartment with Zoe's painting on his wall, Michael smiled. He was not rich. He was not powerful. He was not famous. But he was a father, and that was the only success that mattered. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen.